Hello friends, today I'm back with yet another very interesting topic. You might have heard on the thumbnail, you have seen on the thumbnail, Secrets of Saturn. Okay, the Saturn is the planet which basically has been uh, made very scary in lot many senses. I think those people who follow the Vedic astrology, or even if you follow the Western astrology, you need to understand that Saturn, no doubt, is the significator of pain, suffering, miseries. It's your karma, profession, it's the payback, everything, no doubt. Saturn is the significator of 6th, 8th, 12th house. All are the bad houses. So Saturn knows exactly what is the bad thing we have done in the past life. Okay, what kind of good and bad karma we have exercised, not only immediate past life but many lifetime. Okay, so Saturn has you can say a data of our karmic journey of our soul. Okay, no matter we are born in which ascendant, which moon sign. Okay, that's a secondary part in the present life. But to understand basically how Saturn is in your ascendant, in your from the moon chart. Okay, so to understand Saturn in a beautiful way, I'll open up lot of things in this video. So those people who are watching first time my video, I request them, if you really want to understand is your Saturn in a good position or a bad position. It may be placed in a Libra sign, which is an exalted sign. Saturn may be placed in an Aquarius sign, which is the own sign of Saturn. Saturn may be in, let's say, Capricorn sign, which are the favorable sign to the Saturn. Okay, so just Saturn sitting in the favorable sign is not sufficient. That is the superficial gross picture. But today we will speak about the microscopic technique on the micro level, the deepest level basically, to understand is Saturn really going to help you, or is likely to bring great challenges, trouble from the past life. Now there will be lot many stages of Saturn. If the Saturn is combust in your chart is a different story. Saturn is retrograde, then it carries a lot many karma from the past life, multiple lifetime pending karma, brutal karma, or irresponsible attitude. But Saturn sitting in a stationary position, in a forward position, okay, in the birth chart. So these may be three stages. You can understand that Saturn conjuncted with other planet also needs to be seen very carefully. Let's say Saturn getting conjuncted, its brutal rival, basically arch rival, that is Sun, Moon, Mars. With Jupiter, Saturn is bit neutral, not very good, not very bad, but it's neutral because Jupiter is a significator of your past life merits, and Saturn mostly speaks about the demerit, pending karma, bad karma, or deliberately ignored karma. You have not confronted that those challenges, responsibility, commitment, and everything, loyalty. All these things are connected with Saturn. Okay, so Saturn, simple sense, speaks about your prarabdha karma, the pending karma of your soul and everything. Okay, now the technique which I am going to share you is, I think those people who are watching my video for the first time, I insist them to figure it out. One video which I have made few days before, Navtara Chakra technique. This is a 9 nakshatra constellation cycle, right from the birth moon nakshatra or constellation, from the birth ascendant nakshatra. Okay, so as most of us know that in Vedic astrology we go through moon nakshatra and moon transits and everything in that level to get the detailed microscopic foundation of the birth chart. Okay, so you can find out that video, and with that video will help you to understand this video in a better way. But those already have seen my that Navtara Chakra technique video, okay, for them this video will help them find out that Saturn right in the birth chart which they have is in a good position. Is it a permanent villain in your life, or it is a helping hand or a supporting or a merit or a supportive planet in your chart. Okay, so this video is not completely about the negative areas, but it will speak about what exactly you have sowed as a karma and what you will reap in the present life. So Saturn's exact state in the birth chart, from the moon nakshatra, from the birth ascendant nakshatra. Birth ascendant nakshatra means physical karma, and birth moon nakshatra means mental karma. So from mind point of view or body point of view, how is the Saturn making equations in your life? Okay. So let's say if somebody is born in Ashwini Nakshatra. From Ashwini Nakshatra, if you count, or let's say Saturn is born in any of the Ketu ruled nakshatra. In that cases, you can understand Saturn becomes the lord of the 8th nakshatra. Pushya nakshatra falls in the 8th nakshatra order from the Ketu. It's a friendly nakshatra, friendly Tara. Navtara means 9 nakshatra are known as stars. Okay. Tara means star. Okay. Navtara means Nav is the Hindi word 9 and Tara means star. Okay. So 9 constellation cycle. Now this is for your better understanding. I am giving you the natural zodiac belt order, like anybody born in the Ashwini nakshatra, which falls in the Aries sign between 0 degree to 13 degree 20 minute zone. Each nakshatra is within the bracket of 13 degree 20 minute. So Ashwini nakshatra is within that. From Ashwini, if you count, let's say Saturn is the lord of 8th nakshatra. And 8th nakshatra is a general friend in your chart. Not very good, not very bad. You can say casual friend, very casual friend, not very best friend, but an ordinary friend who can be turn up any side, good way, bad way. Okay. But technically it is considered good nakshatra for Ketu people born. Okay. So let's say if that order is coming, your moon is falling in the Ashwini nakshatra and Saturn is the lord of the 8th nakshatra in your chart. Although it's a favorable, falling into the favorable nakshatra or constellation. But by any means, if Saturn is placed in the 3rd nakshatra from the Ketu, moon placed nakshatra, let's say Saturn sitting in the Kritika nakshatra, which is the nakshatra of Sun, and Sun is the brutal enemy of Saturn. And this sign may be falling, Kritika nakshatra falls between the Aries and Taurus both. Okay. In Aries, basically after 26 degree, there is a one small portion left. Saturn can be placed there also. Or either Kritika nakshatra may be falling between 0 degree to 10 degree Taurus sign. The Sun's nakshatra falls in that way. And that is the 3rd nakshatra for all Ketu nakshatra born people. Those who have seen my Navtara Chakra, I have clearly mentioned the 3rd, 5th and 7th nakshatra from your birth moon nakshatra are basically the troublemakers, the challengers, and any planet sitting there is a symbol in your life as a permanent mark on your destiny that this planet will, no matter it is the ascendant lord, good lord, bad lord, let's say Ketu nakshatra, moon sitting in the nakshatra of Ketu, and Ketu goes and sits in the nakshatra of Kritika. So Ketu will also behave in a very difficult way for these kind of people, matter related to Sun and all this way. So in the similar way, if Saturn is placed in the 3rd nakshatra, 3rd is the Vipat Tara. Vipat means adversity, completely opposite to your nature. Suppose you are living or you are brought up in a specific city, location, country, and suddenly your life drags you to some location which is not compatible to your nature, your mind, your body, the environment. So 3rd nakshatra basically speaks the features of 3rd house, environment. So if at the time of the birth, if Saturn is anywhere sitting in the 3rd nakshatra from your birth moon in the Vipattara, no matter you are born in which ascendant, where Saturn can be the best planet, let's say Taurus and Libra ascendant, but somewhere the equation falls in that way, okay, that your moon is placed in the any of the Ketu nakshatra. Let's say you are born in a Libra ascendant. Okay, Libra ascendant, moon is sitting in the 7th house in Ashwini nakshatra, and Saturn becomes the lord of one of the 4th and 5th. It's a Kendra house, square house, and 5th house is equal to triangle. One of the best planet, Rajo Karaka planet in the Libra ascendant. Saturn can be considered the best planet in delivering that. But despite of that, we should not forget that Saturn is also the significator of 6, 8, 12 of our Prarabdha karma. Saturn does not spare anybody. If you have done something wrong in the past life, no matter you are a Libra ascendant born, you are a Capricorn, you are a Aquarius. But Saturn is extremely considered auspicious planet. Okay. So if let's say Saturn is placed somewhere in the Kritika nakshatra, which may be somewhere falling along with the same sign, in the moon Saturn conjunction might take place, but moon will be somewhere between 0 degree to 13 degree in 7th house, Aries sign in the Libra ascendant, and Saturn will be between 26 to 30 degree, or it will be shifting to the 8th house within the Kritika nakshatra, which will be in the Taurus sign in between 0 degree to 10 degree mark. Okay, and somewhere you can understand that this person, whoever has that Saturn placed in Kritika nakshatra, for them they are born in the finishing part of a Sadasati. Okay, they are born in the finishing part of Sadasati. Second house from the moon speaks about the family, food, money, acquisition, wealth, prosperity, settlement, your mental support zone. This is the zone which helps your mind to grow in everything. So if the Saturn is placed in that area, Kritika nakshatra, third nakshatra. Now this Saturn, no matter it becomes the best planet in the Libra, but still create a hurdle in your life. Whenever the Mahadasha will come in your life of Saturn, Antardasha will come in way. If you are going through a Sadasati period, 7.5 year cycle, during that period Saturn will create a trouble in your life. If 2.5 year cycle of Saturn, whenever Saturn moves 4th and 8th from your moon, still during that period, Saturn is likely to bring troubles in your life, no matter how throughout the life. This is something I am telling you which most of the astrologer will not talk. This is the most underrated topic because it reveals the secret. The misconception will be burst. So look at your chart. If Saturn is sitting in the third nakshatra, whichever nakshatra your moon sits, count third nakshatra from there. If Saturn is sitting there, it is a permanent challenge in your life. Now this third nakshatra planet will be having 2 more other nakshatra in the cycle. Let's say somebody born in a Ketu nakshatra, Ashwini nakshatra. For them, Sun becomes the lord of the third nakshatra, and that is the nakshatra of Sun. So Sun is having technically 3 nakshatras. Vipattara will be having 3 nakshatra. The Kritika is the first one. Uttara Falguni, which again starts from the Leo sign ending point and finishes at the Virgo sign 10 degree mark. So again that is a Vipattara for these peoples, but that will be in the second cycle. And in the similar way, Sun's third nakshatra will be falling in a Sagittarius Capricorn junction. Again Sagittarius ending part 3 degree 20 minutes and rest 10 degree in Capricorn. Okay, let's say somebody born in the Aries moon sign with the Ketu nakshatra, Ashwini nakshatra, Saturn setting 10th house. Looks very promising, Capricorn Saturn. Okay, but that happens to be the Vipattara. Vipattara or third nakshatra in the Navtara Chakra system. This Saturn will never let you settle in career that easily. You will have a trouble with bosses, your superiors, your profession will face n number of challenges. If you are into job, business, this will be a throughout a permanent, you can say a destiny stamp on your life. You have to fear it. For any people who have Saturn in Sun's nakshatra, who is born in the Ketu nakshatra, for them Sun happens to be the Vipattara, adverse. Saturn will be a permanent villain in their life, no matter how much remedies you do. Okay, as per the original chart placement, this is I am telling, as per the Navtara, not necessary. Let's say if Saturn is rather than Sun's nakshatra sitting in the second nakshatra from the birth moon nakshatra. Let's say Saturn sitting in the Venus ruled nakshatra, which happens to be the second nakshatra from the birth moon nakshatra, Ashwini, Bharani nakshatra. Sampattara. Here Saturn can be a wealth giving planet, excellent planet. May not make you sudden rich in your life, but Saturn is sitting at the time of your birth in a positive nakshatra, means whole life positive. You have earned good karma from the Saturn. Saturn will give you the fruits of your past life good karma, which you might have not got in the previous life. In this lifetime, in the initial stages, somewhere you may find it difficult, but slowly it will be a comparable to Saturn placed in a Sun nakshatra. It will benefit you in the Venus nakshatra. So Saturn will deliver good result for the people having Saturn in the Venus ruled nakshatra. Now in this Navtara Chakra, basically I have talked about the first set of bad nakshatra. All the Sun nakshatra, Saturn placed in any one of the Sun nakshatra is the Vipattara at the time of birth. The same thing you need to apply in your chart. Look at your birth moon nakshatra. If the Saturn is placed in the third nakshatra, 3rd, 12th, 21st, that same nakshatra will have 2 more nakshatra. If any one of the nakshatra, if Saturn is placed, it will be bad in your life, no matter you are born in which ascendant. If Saturn is Atma Karaka, Saturn is Amatya Karaka, Saturn is ascendant lord, second is second lord, seventh lord, any lord, that area will come under the permanent challenge in your life. You are going to fight a battle. As the past life you might have not confronted this challenge, so in this life it becomes a compulsion, it becomes a mandatory, you have to fight it. This is the first negative zone which I have talked about, the Saturn's placement. But if your Saturn is not placed in third nakshatra, let's say placed in Venus nakshatra, second, 11th or 12th, don't get scared about Saturn Dasha or Saturn Salasati or Daya. It will not behave bad in your life. That is a positive nakshatra for the birth moon nakshatra, second nakshatra from the birth moon. This is to understand that Saturn at the time of your birth is sitting in the good nakshatra or a bad nakshatra. The first negative nakshatra which I told, the third nakshatra. Then we come to the fifth nakshatra, 5, 14, 23rd nakshatra from your birth moon nakshatra. Let's take the same example. Moon sitting in Ashwini nakshatra, which is again the nakshatra of Ketu. And the fifth nakshatra from that falls basically the Mrikshira nakshatra of Mars, which falls between the Taurus and Gemini junction. Two portions are in the ending part of Taurus and two portions are in the beginning point of Gemini. Those who understand nakshatra, they can correlate my point very well. Okay, so Saturn setting in a Mars ruled nakshatra, fifth nakshatra, 5, 14, 23. Okay, so these are the Pratikul nakshatra. Pratikul means adverse, completely adverse, clueless. You may not be able to understand basically how to deal with that. Why do you get Saturn in the fifth nakshatra, 14 or 23rd? You might have done massive destructive karma in the past life. You might have kept somebody in the suspense, or you might have told unconditional lies to the people around you, your peoples, your followers, people you might have ditched, lot many people. If Saturn is sitting in the 5th, 14th and 23rd nakshatra, all the nakshatra of Mars, then Saturn is a permanent evil in your life. In this lifetime you have to face through. It does not mean it will kill you or something, but you will, on the financial front, marriage front, job, profession, everywhere, especially whenever the Salasati will come, or Saturn's 2.5 year cycle, Dhaya, we say that 4th or 8th transit of Saturn from your moon, whenever that sort of period comes, Saturn will show its negative effect. No matter you are in which age group. In the similar way, whenever the Antardasha or Mahadasha of Saturn will come under any planet, you will feel the heat of this. And this is called the permanent destiny mark which you cannot erase. Fixed destiny. This 5, 14, 23, again this is a bad nakshatra. But remember, if Saturn is not sitting in the 5th nakshatra, Saturn is sitting in the 4th nakshatra. Let's say Saturn sitting in the 4th nakshatra from a Ketu nakshatra, which is the nakshatra of moon. Rohini nakshatra, which is falling in the Taurus sign, where Saturn is no doubt very comfortable. Okay, so if Saturn is sitting in Rohini nakshatra, even moon and Saturn makes a wish yoga, but technically Saturn is good in the 4th nakshatra, 4, 13, 22, all the nakshatra of moon. Saturn will be permanently good in your life. No matter. Saturn will behave very good in your life. Some stress challenges will be there, but you can consider yourself fortunate person with regard to the Saturn. This is a symbol that you have very less bad karma in the past life. 4th nakshatra Saturn slowly gives you the prosperity in your life. Only thing you have to avoid is you have to avoid flashy and shortcut lifestyle. Okay, whenever the Saturn is placed in the moon nakshatra. But as I told, in the 5th, 14th, 23rd, Saturn is the permanent villain in your life. And this is something you have earned from your many lifetime journey, and you have to bear the consequence. No matter how good, how bad. Today I'm speaking it absolutely blunt. Some may take it as a negative. I said, nah, if you don't want to rely on my words, I think take the chart of people who have this kind of equation. Collect the chart of people. Do your own research. I'm not simply asking you to believe my words blindly. No. Collect the chart of people who have this kind of attitude. Somewhere you have to put efforts to figure it out what I'm saying, it's true or false. 5, 14, 23rd nakshatra, especially 23rd is the very dangerous nakshatra from your birth moon. I'll speak about that topic later on. Okay, so this was the second bad nakshatra in that Navtara Chakra technique. Then last and final, the worst of all, The seventh nakshatra from your birth moon nakshatra. 7, 16, 25. This is the Navtara. Vad means death. Not necessarily physically death. Death of a family. Death of wealth. Death of your inheritance. Death of reputation. Death of career. Death of business. Death of your self-confidence. Death of your immunity. You may be living in a prison life. You may get cheated by other people lot many times in your life. Seventh nakshatra is mostly like the seventh house, the world opposite to you. How you treated them in your past life. How did you handle the critical situation, difference of opinions. 7, 16, 25 is the Vad nakshatra. Vad means death. But that does not mean physically. It can be one of the part, but not necessarily always the death. You might have broken the commitment in the past life. You might have been not loyal to your spouse, business partner, or the people who have made you celebrity in your life. A public figure. You might be a politician. You might be an actor, actresses, or any kind of a public figure. You might be an astrologer. You might be a doctor. And seventh nakshatra is something like the seventh house opposite to you. You might have manhandled them. You might have treated bad with them. So if the Saturn is sitting in the 7, 16, 25th nakshatra from your birth moon, on the mental level you will always face a turmoil throughout the life. That is something from the past life you have earned it. So whenever the Saturn's Dasha, Antardasha, Sadesati or something will come, this Saturn will create the most trouble in your life. No matter you are born in a Capricorn, Libra, any ascendant, but from the moon I am speaking about, okay. From the moon I am speaking about, this is the one of that finest secret, in which I have somewhere given you a clue that Saturn is not completely bad for those people for whom Saturn is sitting in the 2nd, 11th and 20th nakshatra. That is called Sampattara, wealth giving nakshatra. Saturn can be excellent for them. But 3rd, 12th, 21 is a trouble. Constant challenge. You are fighting a battle whether you don't know whether you will win or not. It's kind of a burden, responsibility, but it's not that bad. Still you can fight and correct it. 3rd nakshatra is not that bad. 5th is little bit more bad than 3rd, worst. But worstest of worst is 7th. Okay, and that nakshatra will be of Saturn's nakshatra also. Just check out your moon nakshatra, which nakshatra your moon is sitting in. Okay, from there you have to make this Navtara Chakra cycle. And you have to figure it out whether the Saturn is sitting in the 3rd, 12th, 21st nakshatra, or 5th, 14th or 23rd nakshatra, or 7, 16, 25th nakshatra. These are the 9 nakshatra from your birth moon are technically bad, rest are good. But as the Janma nakshatra, birth nakshatra, if the Saturn is conjuncted with the moon nakshatra, even that is a suffering, a punishment, a turmoil, a thing, lot of things. Somewhere you have to consider that also bad. Okay, that also you have to consider bad, because moon is the significant of emotions, mother, nourishment, taking care of other people, trying to understand other people. In the past life you might have done massive bad karma with the mother. You might have given her a lot of torture, emotional trouble, pain, suffering to them, or not necessary mother, but you have hurted the emotion, sentiments of lot many people in the life, in the past life. You might have been very selfish. So in this lifetime you will get all those things back, and somewhere you have to deal with it. Due to your actions you might have no idea that how much damage you might have. Moon Saturn is kind of a poison, a wish yoga. And look, these planets we do not go and get it through Snapchat or Amazon or Flipkart or something. Okay, these planets are at a significator of our karmas right at the time of your birth. Okay, every nakshatra order, ascendant order, you need to look it in that way. Okay, so this was my small explanation to make you aware that most of the people makes you scare about that Saturn is likely to be very bad in your life. Sadasati is coming in your life, like some of the people who are born in the Pisces moon sign, or some are already running Aquarius moon sign, people are running with the Sadasati, or let's say somebody is born in a Capricorn moon sign, for them Sadasati is going to end. Okay, I have recently made one important video on Mrityu Panchaka transit of Saturn and Rahu. That is also correlated with all these things. So look at that video also. And those people, look, whenever you watch my video, I request you to watch the complete video, because the kind of content, the kind of features which I am delivering here, you will not find it anywhere. People will not speak up with that depth in that area. Still, I have a lot of things to bring up. Okay, so make sure that when you are watching this my channel, please subscribe, recommend to your friends to subscribe, keep it as a token of knowledge, wisdom, which is hardly available in easier way in the other YouTube channel or platform. Okay, this is the most underrated topic, not talked upon, because this will reveal, look, there are some areas where remedies will not work. No matter you wear stone, you do puja, charity. This is, I think, as per the Navtara, whatever I'm telling, that is the permanent fate or destiny you have earned through your own karma. Now, no amount of astrologer can clear all these things. I'm speaking very brutal because I am myself ruled by the planet Saturn. My Atma Karaka Saturn. I cannot lie, I cannot deceive, I don't have an intention to install fear in your mind, but I have to make you courageous in terms of mind, in terms of body, in terms of soul. You must have that wise courage in yourself, acceptance, conviction. Okay, whatever I have done, I'll try to suffer and I'll try to make good karma from now onwards. So based on that, you can draw your conclusion. Okay, so that was in today's video. I'll be coming short very quick with another topic.